beyond stupid, and it's irreparable harm that's being done to this party and to this country. Someone needs to take control here, and it's certainly not the president, and it damn sure isn't Steve Bannon. It's got to be the people of Alabama who stand up and say enough.
All right, well, the people that are going to take control right here and now is me, okay? Welcome back to the show. Julio's with me in the studio as my guest host. We are taking your phone calls, 877-NEWSMAX, 877-639-7629, if you want to weigh in on the things that we are talking about. And one of the things that we got a lot of calls about yesterday, and couldn't even get to all of them, has to do with the issue of sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. As many of you know, a Northern California District Court judge yesterday issued a permanent injunction against the Trump administration, excuse me, saying you cannot cut off funds. In essence, saying it is not up to the executive branch to be cutting off funds. If Congress wants to cut off funds, they could do it. But we're going to start with the issue of sanctuary cities and sanctuary states with our next guest. We're going to get to DACA as well, but let's welcome in Mike Cutler. Mike and I have known each other for a long time, been talking to each other for many years. He is a former INS special agent. He has also served in connection with the Drug Enforcement Agency as well. As distinguished career, 30 years in law enforcement and immigration enforcement. Michael, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Bill, good to see you. Julio, good to meet you. I wish both of you and your audience a happy Thanksgiving to begin with. But it's always good to join you and weigh in on the immigration issue, which really is one of the key headlines, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it really is. And in my state, as you probably know, well, in Julio's state as well, we've got a problem, Michael. I wonder if you can help us out. Julio and I didn't vote for the guy, but he got elected, okay? Mm-hmm. And he has promised to turn New Jersey into a sanctuary state. The issue of sanctuaries, be they cities or states, are fascinating to me because these are entities standing in defiance of federal law. They can't do that, can they?
Well, you would think not, especially given the significance. So first, let's begin with the nomenclature. You know, I wrote an article for the Social Contract about how the road to tyranny is paved with word censorship, language censorship. When we stopped using the word alien to describe aliens and called everybody an immigrant, then the open borders immigration anarchists turned around and said, well, anybody who wants to prevent any foreigner from entering the country is anti-immigrant, which is nonsense. We admit 1 million lawful immigrants every year. We give them green cards. They're on the path to citizenship. We admit tens of millions of non-immigrant visitors, that is to say temporary visitors. We have no problem. But the immigration laws that we're talking about are designed first and foremost to protect national security, public safety, public health, and the jobs of Americans. So when people violate our borders, and this is something the 9/11 Commission pointed out right from the get-go, and you know, I provided testimony to the Commission. Yep. I've arrested terrorists in my career. They said, first and foremost, 9/11 and other terrorist attacks occurred purely because of multiple failures of the immigration system. So sanctuary cities aren't really providing sanctuary. That's Orwellian. They are anarchist. They are magnet cities for terrorists, drug traffickers, fugitives from justice. And this has nothing to do with protecting lawful immigrants, everything to do with chaos and crime.
Okay, well, from the legal aspect, if the executive branch cannot actually cut off funding to these sanctuary cities and potentially sanctuary states, do you think that this is really a failure by the so-called hardline immigration enforcers in the Republican Party, you know, to actually want to step up and enforce immigration law? Do you think that they have an issue with, you know, potentially turning off voters? What do you think is the disconnect with the Republican Party from what they say on the campaign trail to what they do in practical application in D.C.?
You know, that's a great question, Julio. Look at it this way. Politicians are like the magician that promises to cut the woman in half. He knows darn well if he cuts her in half, he won't be able to have her help him in the next show, and he'll probably go to jail. So he's not going to cut the woman in half. Politicians are illusionists, just as that magician is. They really want the cheap labor. They want the money from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. They just want to create the illusion that they stand behind immigration enforcement. Trump is the first president in decades to actually want to secure America's borders and enforce America's immigration laws. That's why he's getting attacked from both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, but I know I know they're illusionists, but one of the issues that propelled Trump was he was the government, for crying out loud.
Sure.
30 seconds and then we got to go. Solve it.
All right. But both parties are doing this because they are doing everything possible to stop him. And if the judges want to look at the Constitution, how about Article 4, Section 4, the guarantee of protection for the states against invasion? We just had a Border Patrol agent killed.
Yes.
And the day after the murder of that agent, you have a judge acting in concert with immigration anarchists.
Yeah, I know. It is absolute.
It defies belief. It defies belief.
It really does. And I feel like every day I wake up and I think I didn't really wake up. I just think every day I'm living in some bizarre, strange dream that I might wake up from.
Rod
someday.
Sterling wrote the script.
He did. Thank you, Michael. Always good to see you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Appreciate it. Julio and I will be right back right after this.